Many believe that Jesus was crucified on a Friday, but that's false. This timing is supported by the context of the high Sabbath mentioned in John chapter 19, verse 31, which fell on a Thursday. The Gospels record that Jesus celebrated the Passover meal with his disciples a day earlier than the rest of the nation, as described in Matthew chapter 26, verse 17 through 19, Mark chapter 14, verse 12 through 16, and Luke chapter 22, verse 7 through 13. Regarding the removal from the cross, the Gospels record that Jesus was taken down before the start of the high Sabbath. This special Sabbath, which fell on a Thursday that year, required all work to cease and bodies to be removed, meaning his body had to be laid in the tomb before sundown on Wednesday. Jesus' resurrection occurred sometime before dawn on Sunday morning, fulfilling the prophetic timeline of 3 days and 3 nights in the earth. The biblical definition of a day. To understand the crucifixion timeline, one must first understand how a day was measured in biblical times. It did not start at midnight like our modern calendar. It started at sundown, around 6 p.m., and ended at the following sundown. Genesis chapter 1, verse 5. And God called the light day, and the darkness he called night. And the evening and the morning were the first day. John chapter 11, verse 9. Jesus himself confirms the daylight portion of the day consists of 12 hours, stating, Jesus answered, Are there not 12 hours in the day? If any man walk in the day, he stumbleth not, because he seeth the light of this world. The sign of Jonah. 3 days and 3 nights. Matthew chapter 12, verse 40. For as Jonas was 3 days and 3 nights in the whale's belly, so shall the Son of Man be 3 days and 3 nights in the heart of the earth. The Passover meal, Tuesday evening. In this timeline, Jesus partakes in the Passover meal with his disciples on what we would consider Tuesday evening, which, biblically, would be the start of Wednesday, as the day began at sundown. Luke chapter 22, verses 14 to 15. And when the hour was come, he sat down, and the 12 apostles with him. And he said unto them, With desire I have desired to eat this Passover with you before I suffer. The Crucifixion and the 9th hour. Wednesday. Jesus was crucified on Wednesday. The Bible specifies that he gave up the ghost at the 9th hour. In the Jewish calculation of a 12-hour daylight period starting around 6 a.m., the 9th hour corresponds to 3 p.m. Mark chapter 15, verses 34 to 37. And at the 9th hour, Jesus cried with a loud voice, saying, Eloi, Eloi, lama sabachthani. And Jesus cried with a loud voice, and gave up the ghost. The high Sabbath versus the weekly Sabbath. This is the crux of the Wednesday crucifixion teaching. The Sabbath that forced them to take Jesus off the cross was not the regular weekly Sabbath, Saturday, but a special high Sabbath, the first day of the Feast of Unleavened Bread, which can fall on any day of the week. In this timeline, it fell on Thursday. John chapter 19, verse 31. The Jews, therefore, because it was the preparation, that the bodies should not remain upon the cross on the Sabbath day, for that Sabbath day was an high day, besought Pilate that their legs might be broken, and that they might be taken away. Leviticus chapter 23, verses 5 to 7. This establishes the high Sabbaths independent of the weekly cycle. In the 14th day of the first month at even is the Lord's Passover. And on the 15th day of the same month is the feast of unleavened bread unto the Lord. In the first day ye shall have an holy convocation. Ye shall do no servile work therein. Taking the body down before 6 p.m. Because the high Sabbath began at sundown, 6 p.m., Jesus had to be removed from the cross and buried immediately. Mark chapter 15, verses 42 to 43. And now, when the even was come, because it was the preparation, that is, the day before the Sabbath, Joseph of Arimathea went in boldly unto Pilate, and craved the body of Jesus. Deuteronomy chapter 21, verses 22 to 23. This explains the Jewish law requiring the body to be removed. And if a man have committed a sin worthy of death, and he be to be put to death, and thou hang him on a tree, his body shall not remain all night upon the tree, but thou shalt in any wise bury him that day. The resurrection and the empty tomb, Sunday morning. Following the Wednesday burial just before 6 p.m., the timeline in the grave looks like this. 1. Wednesday night, night 1. 2. Thursday day, day 1. 3. Thursday night, night 2. 4. Friday day, day 2. 5. Friday night, night 3. 6. Saturday day, day 3. By the time Saturday evening hit, 6 p.m., 3 full days and 3 full nights had been completed. Jesus would have risen sometime between Saturday evening and early Sunday morning. When the women arrived before dawn, he was already gone. John chapter 20, verse 1. The first day of the week cometh Mary Magdalene early, when it was yet dark, unto the sepulchre, and seeth the stone taken away from the sepulchre. Matthew chapter 28, verses 1 to 6. In the end of the Sabbath, as it began to dawn toward the first day of the week, came Mary Magdalene and the other Mary to see the sepulchre. He is not here, for he is risen, as he said.